G'day, I'm Tim, and this is a Bloomburrow bundle. Let's crack it open, have a look what's inside, and see what you might come to expect from one of these. So it's an interesting little set. I've already opened a pre-release. It's got some really good tribes. If you're looking for creature tribal, there's heaps in there. There's heaps of assistance for your warlocks, warriors, assassins, any of those newer tribes and some of the older ones as well. There's a lot of synergy for it. So inside here we have a lovely little bit of art. There's some really nice art in this set. That's probably one of the biggest things here too. We've got the art, the little otters having a little play on the sides, which is pretty cool. Little Bloomburrow on the top, not too bad, not too messy. Let's pop her open, see what's in here. We've got a nice die. I do know these cards are still made in America too, and the die is made in China. So we'll have a look at this die. It's actually quite nice. Nice green with the gold in there, and it's got a bit of depth even in the plastic colors here, which is quite good. I'm happy with that one, which is really nice. Have a look at the little pack that we get. So you always get lands in here, which is cool. We'll see which ones they give you as well. Awesome. So it's a full art and it's the seasons. So it looks like spring, autumn, and winter by the look of it. Autumn, winter, yep. Autumn, winter, spring, autumn, winter, spring, autumn, winter. Okay, that's interesting. So summer, I think they said one of them was like a rare chase or something. You've got to get in the packs. So let's have a look at the other ones. Obviously they give you the foils, so let's have a look at the foils. They'll probably be washed out, and you do get your promo card, obviously. There is a buy box promo, which is Flub's a Fool as well, which is really nice. So we've got Thunder Trap Trainee. So it's a 2-mana 1/2 Offspring 4, which is quite expensive. But when this creature enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal a non-creature, non-land from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. So just the ability alone is quite nice. I mean, the Offspring 4 mana to get that, in Commander probably half decent, but yeah, by itself, yeah. So we've got Plains, Island, Swamp. We've got Mountain, Forest. Oh, that's interesting. So they look like, and then we've got the normal basics. So it looks like, which island do we have here? Okay, so you get the alternate island here, the alternate season. So you get the 3 in the normal, which is cool. And then your foil is your other season, basically. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. At least you get the full set. Bit harder because they're not all the same. And then you get these as well, the normal ones. I mean, they're foiled, so cool. You can bling out your deck, but nothing too crazy. It's always nice to get some lands. It's an easy way to start, yeah, making your commander decks look a bit nicer, is to throw some nice basics in here. So yeah, these come with 9 play boosters. So we'll crack all the play boosters, see what decent cards are in here, and go from there. Scales of Shale, 3 mana. Spell costs 1 less for each lizard you control. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains lifelink and indestructible. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Okay, Tree Guard, Pearls of Wisdom, Rabbit Response, Steam Path Charger, Saver. 2 mana, target creature gets -2/-2 until the end of the turn, create a food token. That's actually really good for a common. That's pretty amazing. At instant speed, -2/-2 and a food for 2. Nice. Heirloom Epic, 1 mana artifact, pay 4, draw a card. For each mana in this ability's activation, you may tap an untapped creature you control rather than pay that mana. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, wow, so you can reduce it quite nicely. We've got Feed the Cycle, 2 mana, instant, as an additional cost to cast a spell, you forage or pay a black, so it could be 3 mana, or foraging, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Yeah, okay, so foraging is exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Long River's Pull, gift card, counter target creature spell. If the gift was promised, instead counter target spell. That's actually a half decent counter spell, especially in Commander. I like the ability to gift cards to people, especially if you've got someone that's becoming the arch enemy at the table and you want to kind of join up or curry some favor. It's quite nice. Ooh, hell yeah. Warren Warleader, 4 mana, 4/4, offspring 2. Whenever you attack, choose one. Create a 1/1 rabbit creature token that's tapped and attacking, or attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of the turn. So the best thing about this, I really like this card. It's a knight, which is awesome. Great tribe. And rabbits. I mean, rabbits have some really good stuff now. You can get an additional guy, and then it's whenever you attack. So this creature doesn't have to attack. So if you've brought it in, offspringed it as well, you're getting double triggers as you're attacking. So you can choose one or both of those in either way. So yeah, really, really strong, nice card. So we'll put him down there as our mythic. We've got another island, which is really lovely, and Jolly Gerbils. Whenever you give a gift, draw a card. Oh wow, that's actually strong if you're going to build a gifting deck. So yeah, Iridescent Vinelasher, cool. Yeah, that's pretty decent. I quite like the different animal types that they've gone with this. There's a few that they've like looked into. So the lizards, for instance, there's Vishnus that were errated into lizards. So they're actually like bringing the tribes back stronger as well by putting extra cards into your decks, I guess. Mind Spiral, Wax and Wane, Uncharted Haven, Mind Drill Assailant. So that's 4 mana, 2/5. It's got Threshold. As long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, it gets +3/+0, and you can Surveil with it. Interesting. So it could be a 5/5 for 4 mana, which is half decent, with Surveil as well. Yeah, I quite like that. Okolo Village. All these lands are really decent, especially with these creature types. They're very, very strong. Reptilian Recruiter, 5 mana, 4/2 trample. When it enters, choose target creature. If that creature's power is 2 or less, if you control another lizard, you gain control of that creature until the end of the turn. Untap it against haste. So yeah, you can steal something. Pretty fun. Fireglass Mentor for 2. The beginning of second main phase. If an opponent lost life this turn, exile top 2 cards. Choose one of them. You can play that card. Interesting, especially if you're playing from exile, so Prosper and stuff will like it. Short Bow, cool. Lunar Convocation. Oh, okay. So 2 mana enchantment. At the beginning and end step, if you gained life this turn, each opponent loses life. At the beginning and end step, if you gained and lost life, create a 1/1 black creature token with flying, and it's got 2 mana, pay 2 life, draw a card. So this was like Greed, where you could pay 2, I believe it was, and draw a card. So if you're in a life gain deck, that could be really nice. A very interesting, decent little card. Same island again. And Early Winter, a very expensive card to cast. So yeah, interesting. Pop this pack open. I really enjoy a lot of this art too. It's very, very nice in here. Psychic Whirl, 3 mana, target opponent discards 2 cards. Then if you control a rat, Surveil 2, so really nice for a rat deck. Really strong. Dire Downdraft, you can put a creature under its thing. Cinderling Cutthroat enters with a +1/+1 if an opponent lost life this turn. You can give it Menace as well. So 3 mana, 3/2 with what you can do with Menace, so yeah, half decent. Nettle Guard, pretty cool. Mudflat Village, so this is another one of those lands. So black to cast a creature spell. You can sack it, return a bat, lizard, rat, or squirrel card from your graveyard to your hand. So like that alone is just amazing, especially in Commander. We've seen him. We've got Fell, 2 mana, destroy target creature. Cool. Doesn't care what type it is. A lot of these 2 mana ones usually cared, like the Outlaw ones. There's ones like destroy target non-werewolf or something like that. So that's actually a half decent card. It's sorcery, which is a bit slow, but still pretty decent. Wildfire Howl, 3 mana, gift a card. When it deals 2 damage to each creature. If the gift was promised, it deals 1 damage to any target and then 2 damage to each creature. So you can kill a 3 and then all 2s. Yeah, but still, 3 mana to do 2 damage to all creatures can be quite good. There's some cards that care about it and can bump that power up more. Oh, cool, we've got Sunspine Lynx. So yeah, half decent, especially for Commander, because it's a 4 mana 5/4, which is nice. Players can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented, so you can stop fogs and stuff like that. And when it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to each player equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. So even just a mono red deck, this could be really, really strong in, especially shooting your opponents. So like Torbrands and all that crazy powerful red garbage that's out there. Cachet grab, and oh, look at that lovely art card. Keep popping. We haven't had any of the new Planeswalkers, which is interesting. Downdraft, carrot cake. So it's a food when it enters it. When it enters and when you sack it, you get a 1/1 white rabbit creature token and you scry one, and you can pay 2, sack it, and gain 3 life. So that's really nice. Oh, we got 2 of the foods. Okay, that's nice. Fountain Port Bell, Lupine Village. So you can pay 2, sack it, look at the top 6 cards of your library, reveal a bat, bird, mouse, rabbit card from among them, put them into your hand. So still great if you're running out of things to do. So Starscape Cleric, it's got Offspring, which is nice. Flying, this creature can't block, and whenever you gain life, each opponent loses life. So having that into a life gain deck and getting 2 of them, yeah, quite nice. Splash Portal, exile target creature you control and then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. If that creature was a bird, frog, otter, rat, draw a card. So you can use it as, you can't use it as protection because it's got sorcery, unless you're playing that otter that allows you to do flash. But the drawing a card or doing it on an ETB is actually not too bad either. Yeah, quite good. Seasoned Warren Guard, so when it attacks while you control a token, it gets +2/+0. So 1 mana for a 3/2 if you've got a token. That's bonkers because it's so easy to get one. Oh, Wick the World Mind. So it's a 4 mana, 2/4. So its color identity is Grixis. Whenever Wick or another rat you control enters, create a 1/1 black snail creature token if you don't control a snail. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 on a snail you control. So you can pay 3 and sack it. It deals damage equal to the sack creature's power to each opponent, then draw cards equal to the sack creature's power. So doesn't sound that strong, but that is insane because this part here where it deals damage equal to the sack creature's power, if you're running some half decent equipments like Blackblade Reforged, anything that buffs it, there's a few in here that care about like 1/1 creatures, so if you added token ones, can buff it up huge. So not only doing that damage to each opponent, but then also drawing cards, that is insanely strong, that ability. There's Gerard Golgari Lichlord, he had an ability like that, and he was in green-black, but he was 4 mana to do that, and you only shot each opponent for its power. So that is going to be a fantastic commander. I reckon you'll see a fair few of them on the table. We've got Corpseberry Cultivator, Squirrel Warlock. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you can forage. Whenever you forage, you put a +1/+1 on him. So, yeah, half decent little card. Yeah, so Wick, interesting. Are there any commanders you guys are looking at? I know there's a lot of Calamity Beasts. We haven't seen any yet, but they're pretty strong alone. So we have Crumb and Get It, Gift of Food. Target creature you can control gets +2/+2. If the gift was promised, it also gets indestructible. So cool little evasion card. Death Touch, mill some cards. We've got some rats, got a frog, another frog, rabbit. Head of the Homestead, so 5 mana. When it enters, you create 2 white rabbit creature tokens. Half decent. We've got Peerless Recycling. This one's quite good, even in Commander too. So it's 2 mana for an instant, you can gift a card. You return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If the gift was promised, instead return 2 target permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. So they're only permanent. It's kind of like Eternal Witness, but it looks for permanence. The thing that I like about it is it's instant and you can gift too. So you can gift people that need the resources to help you deal with someone else. So curry a bit of favor too. This guy, Daring Wave Rider, so 6 mana for a 4/4, which is expensive, but when he enters, you can cast an instant or sorcery with mana value 4 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it said. So you're getting, so for 6 mana, you're getting a 4/4, which is roughly about 3 or 4 CMC, and then you're getting a 4 up to a 4 mana spell as well. So the card advantage is quite nice. I mean, in blue, there's so many amazing stuff like Fact or Fiction and stuff that you can use this guy for. So yeah, pretty cool Otter Wizard. Yeah, the Indestructible Raccoon, we've seen him. Playful Shove, so 2 mana, deals 1 damage to any target and you draw a card. So there's a lot of 1 mana pinger cards and stuff like that. This could go in quite a few decks. Awesome for the common good. So XX, so you got to pay 1 into each of the X and a green. Create X tokens that are copies of target token you control. Then tokens you control gain indestructible until your next turn. You gain 1 life for each token. So you're gaining life, you're creating tokens that are copies of tokens, and then it's giving all your tokens indestructible until your next turn. Yeah, a really strong card, especially with the amount of token synergy in this. That's going to be quite decent. So yeah, nice swamp and the Wildfire Howl. So what? I've got 1 mythic so far. So we're pulling roughly, yeah, one rare, 1 mythic per pack. Okay-ish. It's not as high. We'll see what else we get. 3 Tree Root Weaver. So another way to get mana into your decks. A Mole Druid, which is interesting that they've gone with Mole Tribal. Rat Rogue, Sonar Strike, Veteran Guard Mouse. Yeah, pretty cool. Corpseberry Cultivator. Consumed by Greed, so 3 mana instant gift card. Target opponent sacks a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. If the gift was promised, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So yeah, you can make someone sack stuff, give them a card, and then give yourself a card from your graveyard. So really cool, especially in a Reanimator-ish sort of deck if you want to get like a Grave Merchant or Asphodel back. Really easy way to do that, and it's instant speed too, which is really nice. Jolly Gerbils, yeah, so the gift one that you draw. So Sugarcoat, 3 mana, flash, enchant creature or food. Enchanted permanent is a colorless food artifact with 2, sack it. You gain 3, loses all other card types. So 3 mana to turn someone's commander into a food at instant speed, and it's enchantment, so some decks care about that. That's pretty cool card, very much along the lines of the Imprisoned in the Moon. That was that sort of style and that Kenrith's transformation. So yeah, I like it. Flash speed's really nice to have. Pretty amazing. So we've got Wandertail Mentor. So this guy is a 2/2. You can tap him to get some mana as well. And then whenever you expend 4, put a +1/+1 on him. Really cool. He's a raccoon, a bard. Bard isn't really a good creature type. There are some party mechanics, I believe, from D&Ds that care about that. But paying 2, going into it, your next turn, if you're playing a land, you can then be expending 4 by tapping him for that extra mana and putting a +1/+1 on him. So he's just a dude that's going to grow really nice. Hey! So this is the... I can't remember what they call this treatment. But anyway, it's a Mist Breath Elder, so it's a 1 mana. It's a Frog Warrior, which is really cool. So it's 2/2, nice. At the beginning of your end step, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, put a +1/+1 on this guy. Otherwise, you may return this guy to your hand. So if you've got like a flicker sort of tribal, having this in green, which is quite nice too, can be good. But yeah, like a 1 mana 2/2 is gross, and being able to put extra +1/+1s on him is pretty strong too. So we got Island, Rogue Shot Duo. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty interesting. Still haven't seen any crazy broken cards yet, but it's a pretty strongish deck. Set, I mean, sorry. Druid of the Spade, Pond Prophet, nice. Whiskus Quill Tribe. Jesus, some of these names are tongue twisters. Stocking the Pantry is cool, I like that. Harvest Right Host. So 3 mana, Rabbit Citizen. When it or another rabbit you control enters, target creature you control gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn. Draw a card if this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn. So awesome in like token generating decks, and yeah, pretty easy to do. You can blink it too, which is pretty cool. Long River Lurker, so this is a cool frog, I like this guy. 3 mana 2/3, he's got Ward 1. He gives all the other frogs Ward 1, which is really good. And when this guy enters, target creature control can't be blocked this turn, and when that creature deals combat damage this turn, you may exile it. If you do, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So good way to flicker as well. But the Ward 1 with frogs Ward 1 is really quite nice. Here we go, we got Jackdaw Savior. So 3 mana, 3/1 flying. When it or another creature you control with flying dies, return another target creature card with lesser mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield. So that is insanely strong, because it sees itself too. So there was a few artifacts that did that, but having it in a bird and a cleric too, pretty decent. Especially clerics, there's some pretty decent cards that you wanted to kill your clerics off with. They had a very good sack strategy too. So yeah, cool little card. I like him. We got Conduct Electricity, Glide Dive Duo, Rust Shield Rampager, Mind Spiral, Wax Wane Witness, Tempest Angler. So another non-creature otter wizard, rat otter. So he's got prowess too. That's a cool one that they've brought back in. Plumcreed Escort, so that flash thing. Dewdrop Cure, 3 mana sorcery, gift card. Return up to 2 target creature cards, each with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If the gift was promised, instead return up to 3 of them. Wow, that can be really good. Blooming Blast, we've got 2 mana, gift treasure, deals 2 damage to target creature. If the gift was promised, it deals 3. So 2 mana lightning bolt that you give someone a treasure. It's okay. Phineas Ace Archer, cool. I like this guy. He's 2 mana, 2/2, Vigilance Reach. When he attacks, put a +1/+1 on each other creature you control that's a token or a rabbit. Then if creatures you control have total power 10 or greater, you draw a card. So that's going to hit it pretty easy. Putting a +1/+1 on each other creature that you control that's a token or a rabbit, that's super, super easy in a rabbit tribal, and token generators, and rabbits make a lot of tokens. Yeah, strong, especially with vigilance and reach. Some nice evasion. I could see some really good decks with him. And yeah, I mean, +1 synergy is really easy to build around. Ooh, sweet. So we got a rare and a mythic. So Eluge the Shoreless Sea. So he's 4 mana. His power and toughness equal to the number of islands that you control. When he enters or attacks, put a flood counter on target land. It's an island in addition to its other type, as long as it's got a flood counter. And the first instant or sorcery you cast each turn costs blue, less for each land you control with a flood counter on it. So yeah, you want to be putting it onto your own ones, obviously because his power and toughness equal to the number of islands that you have. So it's nice that if you have like reliquary towers, or I mean, you wouldn't run a command tower in his colors. Anything else that really does something. So you got like ones that do monarchs and other stuff. Yeah, could be quite nice, especially in a spell slinger. Especially the first one each turn, so you're getting it an opponent's turn, so instants and sorcery. So very, very good spell slinger commander in blue, which is, I mean, didn't need much support, but it's still amazing now. And then we've got Storm Chaser's Talent. So when it enters, you create a red otter creature token with prowess, which is really good. And then when you level the class up, you return an instant sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Amazing. Then it's expensive for level 3, but it's 6 mana. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, you create a 1/1 blue-red otter creature token with prowess as well. So yeah, I mean, prowess is strong. Otter tribal strong. That is just a strong little enchantment that you can put into one of those decks. And last pack, here we go. So we've got Shore Up. Target creature control gets +1/+1 hexproof until the end of the turn, and untap it. Really, really, really good. +1/+1 hexproof is nice, not indestructible, but untapping it can be a really cool way to sneak and kill someone's creature. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain a life, so 2 mana. So this is a, there's a white one that did that as well. Take out the trash, does 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If you control a raccoon, you may discard and draw a card. So 3 mana, shoot for 3, which is better than that other one. And you can loot if you have a raccoon. Ravine Raider, Menace from 1, cool. Longstalk Brawl, so gift a fish, target creature control, and target creature. Choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. Put a +1/+1 on the creature you control if the gift was promised, and then fight. So 1 mana to fight alone is really, really cheap. So there's quite a few, I know like Shelob decks and stuff that will actually quite like that. We've got Finch Formation, so Offspring 3. When this creature enters, target creature you control gains flying to the end of the turn. Not that strong. Junkblade Bruiser. We've got a hybrid mana again. When you expend 4, it gets +2/+1 until the end of the turn, so Trample. I mean, it's average for a common. We've got Hazard Root Herbalist. When you attack, target creature you control gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn. If that creature's a token, it also gains Death Touch until the end of the turn, so half decent. The Loose Slash Mentor, Frog Druids, exile another target creature you control, return to the battlefield with +1/+1, activate as a sorcery. That could be half decent from what we've seen so far. When these so we've got Wix Patrol, 6 mana, 5/3. When it enters, mill 3 cards. When you do, target creature and opponent controls gets -X/-X until the end of the turn, where X is the greatest mana value among cards in your graveyard. So if you've got decent creatures, That's a removal and a creature and a spell and mill, which can help in quite a fair few decks. Cool. Valley Floodcaller, so we've got the flash non-creature spells as flash. Otter Wizard, I can see him going in a lot of decks. Even Artifact Tribal decks, he could be handy, giving you creatures flash, giving you artifacts flash. It's quite nice. We've got Forest and Pelated Provisioner, interesting. And a little rabbit token. So yeah, all in all, not too bad, not overly strong. We didn't get too many hits in here. Yeah, it would have been nice to see some of those Calamity Beasts. There's some pretty cool different treatments. We got one of the other different treatments. But yeah, all in all, a nice little way to sort of jump into the set. I really like the dice. The dice is really nice. The tribal synergy is the strength in this set. There are some strong cards, but being able to get more otters, rats, rabbits, bats, birds, all of them getting some support is really good. And then usually your other subtype, your second subtypes, you're getting like archers, clerics, wizards, warlocks. We've seen assassins. There's loads and loads of subtype strength, I would call it, in this, especially if you play Commander and you run a lot of different decks. It's going to open up a lot more different decks in tribes, and some of the crossover in tribes is interesting too. You might actually see some like creatures with their warlocks or assassins. So I can see this is a nice set to be able to branch across to a few different commander sets and commander decks. Also, the commander product is really strong too. We had a play around with those and tested them out, and the only one I wasn't impressed with was the rabbit deck, the sort of group huggy deck. It definitely has one of the most fun, interesting, unique cards, which is that new almost Teferi's Protection, where you get to gift a person a turn. That's really strong, and that'll be the chase card in that one. But the rabbit deck was really strong. Yeah, they're just really well constructed precons. I like them. It's a strong little set. It's got really good support in it. Yeah, if you got some money, the pre-release is an easy way to jump in. The bundles are a nice way. Yeah, it's a great little fun little set. And go down to your LGS, support them, play some games. There's cool promos down there, and have a great one. We'll see you on the next video.